What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about the latest update in Cold War, some new content that was found for Black Ops 2024, and even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and make sure notifications on to stay up to date with everything going on in Cold War Year 2, Warzone, Modern Warfare 2, and any other future Call of Duty as well. I want to thank all you guys out there for 200 subscribers on the second channel, which I just opened a couple of days ago. The first video for that channel should be going up at some point this weekend, and I'll be posting a variety of different content on there, videos, shorts, and streams of a bunch of other games that aren't necessarily Call of Duty, but definitely expect the occasional Call of Duty video on there every once in a while, whether it's a bonus news segment, a live stream, something that just doesn't make it here on the main channel, but any support is, of course, appreciated. We also had an awesome stream last night. Thank you to all who tuned into that, dropping a nuke live on stream, going for some unlock challenges that I didn't finish during year 1 of Cold War. It was a great time, and I have more gameplay streams, of course, on the way for you guys in the next couple of days. I want to start off with something that I'm sure you guys also noticed on stream last night, and that is that theater mode isn't very stable, at least on PC. You could, for the most part, watch a full film without crashing on console, but typically when the film finishes, the game will crash anyway. But on PC, you could barely make it past like half of the theater mode recording, and then the whole theater mode will crash, your game has to be restarted. Not sure what's going on there, but I can't say I'm that surprised theater mode is that unstable on PC. But if you guys noticing how the gameplay looks a bit off, it's because it is from theater mode. I forgot to hit record when we were streaming yesterday, but we still managed to at least pick up the footage from the theater saved file. But really crossing my fingers that since theater mode is in fact a Treyarch led feature, you won't see any other devs really touching theater mode. Hopefully it's more polished in the next Black Ops game when Treyarch actually has more time to make the game itself. I give them props for at least including the feature in games like BO4 and Cold War, but stability obviously just wasn't the best. It was, I think, at its peak during Black Ops 2, and then BO3's was alright, not as polished, and then BO4 and Cold War are just a bit inconsistent, where some films work, some don't play all the way, you can't get rid of your HUD sometimes. It's a bit frustrating. I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about if you guys use theater mode, but fingers crossed for the best when it comes to Treyarch's next project. I also want to point out, right, I want to tweet Treyarch CM one of these days, and I'll probably do it on Monday, or excuse me, Tuesday after the holiday. I want to get a year 2 playlist added into Cold War, because I think it's unfortunate that we could really have a hard time getting WMD or jungle in public matches of multiplayer. We'll love to have a 24/7 playlist of at least those 2 maps. I figured that if they're going to add Firing Range and Summit at some point later this summer, then we'll end up getting like a Back in Black or a remastered playlist in 6v6, but I think until then we should at least get a WMD and jungle one, since I love to play those maps more often, but I just rarely see them in some of my game modes. I'll see it in KC every now and again, rarely in Domination, but let me know how you guys feel about a year 2 multiplayer playlist down below in the comments. But Warzone Mobile has done it again. We have Reality UK over on Twitter who actually found more references to weapons that are going to be a part of T10. T10 is Treyarch's next game, whereas if you see I9, that is Infinity Ward's next game. So according to the Warzone Mobile files, we have the following weapons coming to Black Ops 2024. We have something called an AR_Koslo 723, AR_ Aching 74, an AR_Clove, a BR_Keezy or CZ, not sure what BR is, maybe a battle rifle, not sure what that is. It's definitely a weapon type. We then have LA, which stands for a Pable 3. We then have LM, which is probably an LMG, which is K Sugar 58, SH_Maslow 500, SM_M Paris 5, which I believe is the MP5, right? That should be simple to actually break down. We then have the SM_S Roger 3, SN_U Tiger, SN_Heatchuck, and lastly PI_S Tiger. So people out there are speculating that at least one of these weapons that has to do with the sniper is the SR-25 sniper. But notice how these are all old school weapons from like maybe the Cold War era, maybe a little bit after that. So I think with the way zombies ended in Cold War, with leaving us off at the 90s, that's probably where the next Black Ops game is going to take place, maybe shortly after Cold War, but then also having some flash forwards to the future to follow up with what happened at the end of Black Ops 2, the canon ending that is. Now there have been plenty of rumors about the next Black Ops game taking place in the near future, and if you combine that with these old school weapons we're hearing about and the fact that Forsaken ended off at the 90s, then I think we're definitely going to have a hybrid similar to what Black Ops 2 did, whether we're flashbacks, flash forwards. Really looking forward to what the future holds for Treyarch's Call of Duty storyline. But Reality UK also said a few COD related things I found. We know almost all of these and what they are, except for COD HQ and MGL. Could COD HQ reference the main app that will host all recent COD COD soon. That's a reference to that Disney Plus application that has been rumored for quite some time. It's unclear when that's coming out, but that essentially will be a big COD HQ where you'll open it up and you'll see the currently active CODs, which at the time when it comes out, it'll be, what, Cold War, Vanguard, MW2, and then Warzone 1. Eventually, they'll actually get rid of Cold War from that, replace that with Black Ops 2024. They'll replace Warzone 1 with Warzone 2. I'm sure games will be rotated in and out of that hub. We got a bit more to get through. Let's go ahead and take a look at the new update that went live yesterday afternoon. All right, this is the Fresh Wounds bundle for just 1,400 COD points. Definitely not too much, and I would say it's one of the quieter bundles here of Year 2, which doesn't really have any tracers, reactive, or animated elements at all. It says fight through the pain with the Fresh Wounds bundle. First up, have the Painkiller Stone skin here, which really does resemble like Hush from the Batman series, and then of course Jack the Ripper from real life, which is kind of what the bundle's based on altogether. A really cool skin here for Stone, and Stone does have some pretty good skins in Cold War, and he has an alien one also coming up at some point soon, which we're going to cover. We have the Doctor's Order blueprint here for the Lapa Slappa, one of the best SMGs in this game in my opinion, which is kind of underrated. Got added during, I think, the Haunting Season 6, but definitely a very solid blueprint there. Unfortunately, no tracers, but can't get everything you want, right? We then have the Tormentor blueprint here for the Ironhide, a weapon that I really wasn't a fan of. I wasn't fond of it at all until last night when we streamed Drop a Nuke with it. It was really, really fun rocking this out. I think it just has the right attachments. That's why it's so good. We also have the Amputator Battle Axe blueprint, which is awesome. And honestly, the Scythe blueprint that comes with the upcoming bundle also is bloody and would have fit this pack pretty perfectly. We then have the Victorian Lantern, and it's kind of animated, right? Technically, right? It's an epic charm. And we also have the Surprise Incision calling card, which also isn't animated, but still a pretty decent looking bundle with a nice operator skin for just about a little over $10. But with that being said, let's take all of this in game. All right, chat, we are here on Garrison in spirit of the nuke that we got with these blueprints last night on stream. Once again, thank you for tuning into that. It was like a decision between Standoff, Apocalypse, Garrison. Like, what's a brown map that kind of fits the theme of this bundle a little bit? We're going to go with Garrison. Why not? Keep up with the continuity of the gameplay that you saw earlier. Again, no traces on the Lapa, but the charm does look pretty good on the damn thing. A nice little wooden design here for this SMG. It's one of the newer SMGs in the game, of course. But other than that, we then have the Ironhide. Again, I was not a fan of this weapon at all, and I think it was because I didn't have all the attachments for it. So probably should have been more patient with using the Ironhide a couple of seasons ago. But now that this blueprint comes with the attachments that it does, this thing is pretty nasty. I mean, you want to aim above the waist anyway with this thing, because if you don't, you're probably not going to win the gunfight, as you guys just saw right there. Got to really aim up there a little bit, but close range, this should typically be a one-shot, which is awesome. And no finisher in this pack, but where's Mr. Sean at? You could do a finisher on us so we can get another look at that nice skin. Here you go. Go ahead. And there we go, Klaus there, absolutely destroying Jack the Ripper there. But now we have the Battle Axe. Again, I'm not really a person that uses melee weapons too often. I would probably use them more in zombies and maybe a tad bit in Warzone. But MP usually don't rock them too much. However, this one has a decent hitbox. I would say something that I'm not really a big fan of with Treyarch games is the hitboxes with some of the melee weapons are a little off. Most of the time, I think BO4 had it down pretty good, but yeah, the axe is definitely pretty cool. Got a free kill there on Mr. Stone. And I honestly think the Scythe itself would have fit pretty well with this pack, considering like the bloody theme all over this blueprint. So they would have threw this into the Jack the Ripper pack. Probably could have upped the price of it by a couple hundred COD points and then called it. All right, folks, we were on Firebase Z. And again, I was like, wait, which zombie map would fit the vibe, atmosphere, lighting, and aesthetic of this Jack the Ripper Stone skin? And I'm like, you know what? A brownish map is Firebase, right? I think that works. I used Firebase for that recent Yokai Kitsune bundle, not because she was Asian, but I just felt like it really fit the vibe of what that bundle was going for. But yeah, I'm like, you know what? In terms of weapon we're going to spawn in with, let's do the Ironhide. We know the Lap was already amazing. Everybody expects that. We know the Battle Axe is just a melee weapon for zombies, but let's check out this shotgun. Especially with the epic rarity upgrade of the Super EE. Yeah, chat, it's going to be interesting to see how we end up covering new bundles in Modern Warfare 2. It's like, what modes do we play, really? It'll be multiplayer, obviously Warzone, but then, I guess, Spec Ops? I mean, what'll be the difference, really, in Spec Ops, looking at some of our blueprints or whatnot? I wonder if they're going to do Mastercrafts in that game, too. MW 2019 didn't have any, so we'll have to wait and see. All right, the Ironhide against a Mimic, nearly a 2-tap, but this is with epic rarity, so I know, you guys are probably like, oh, but you have the upgrade. It's like, well, if you're still playing Cold War, you probably have the egg done by now. The super Easter egg, that is. So, that's pretty solid. I mean, round 7 is still low, but I'm loving this thing. Nice charitable donation of an epic Lapa, in which we can then apply our blueprint, our only blueprint for the Lapa in this game. I know there is, I think, one other bundle for it, but I was reminded by Mr. Fajardi in our stream yesterday, there isn't any Lapa blueprints that feature tracers. That's really weird. This thing feels great in Zombies too. Gotta love it. All right, folks, here is tier 1 on our good old Ironhide there. How's that camo look? Pretty good. Small attention to detail. Gotta love the bandages you can still see despite the camo. Loving that. And then that clean little one tap on double points. Yeah, this thing feels awesome. I wonder what the critical multiplier is on like Legion or something. All right, an epic tier 1 Ironhide's a one hit. That is awesome. Yeah, if you guys are super Easter egg fanatics, then you're gonna have a lot of fun with this Ironhide. Yeah, I'm like blown away. It's like a new weapon to me because I just never enjoyed this weapon at all until this blueprint came out. It technically has like pay to win attachments, even though it's not. You can just rank the weapon up and use them, but I wasn't aware what the good attachments were on this thing. Never paid attention to it. But yeah, this thing's awesome. Really loving it. All right, Lapa Slappa tier 1 as well. Yeah, this thing feels awesome. I know the Tech 9's amazing, but I was impressed by how fun it was and how powerful it was using zombies as well. This thing is almost no different. I'm loving the iron sight, the fire rate. Yeah, definitely a fan of the little Lapa Slappa. All right, tier 1 Lapa against the Mimic. Also a near insta-kill. Didn't take too many bullets at all. All right, folks, tier 2 on our lovely Ironhide. Tier 2 Ironhide on our buddy Mangler. It's a one hit. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Oh, one hit knocked his armor off. 3 shots total, completely finished them. Very solid. But I think we're ready to hop into the Warzone. Look at that Ironhide again, putting in that work. Love to see it. All right, checking out the Lapa and Ironhide here in Rebirth, which has thankfully returned as a couple days ago. Lapa's definitely not too bad. How's the Ironhide, though? Let's see. Got a quick little cheeky kill on this guy. Oh. Come on. Okay. 2 shots there. Even with some armor. Not too bad at all. I don't think I've ever touched the Lapa or the Ironhide once in Warzone. Oh, my lord. There's a sniper. Oh. Oh. Holy lord. Oh! Oh, he finished himself. Huh. Alright, folks, here's a cameo of another stone skin. Don't tell anybody I showed you this, but Jack the Ripper looks great here in our Fortune's Keep cutscene. I just think Rebirth should have brought at least duos and trios, but quad just isn't it, especially when we don't have a full squad tonight. But let's see what we could do here on the Keep. I think the Ironhide might be a contender for one of the worst weapons in Warzone. I really liked it in Cold War, though, but... Oh, my lord. Oh, my lord. Wouldn't recommend Ironhide by itself, chat. Maybe just to finish people, but that's it.
Downed him.
3 shots? And he burned himself. Yep.
Drop.
Nice.
Window. Oh my god.
Only 5 remain. Finish this once and for all.
Oh.
Never mind. LFG marked.
Oh! What was that? I did not expect that. I didn't think there were that many people left. Okay. We'll take a win with the good old Jack the Ripper. I guess the bundle's kind of good luck. We got a nuke with it on stream, an MP, and we plus together a little dub there here on Fortune's Keep. Cannot complain. Wow. Thank you, Stone.
I did not expect that at all.
I don't know how that happened, but yeah. I guess that guy was wrong place, wrong time. Lapa Slappa came in clutch, dude. All right. Now, in case you guys are wondering, no, there hasn't been a schedule posted for all upcoming Cold War packs, unfortunately. I know typically the usual suspects on Twitter when they're posting an upcoming schedule of what to expect for the next couple of weeks in Cold War, like what bundles coming out on which Friday. That hasn't happened, and maybe that'll be updated at some point after the 2nd. Maybe we'll end up getting a bundle update from some of the usual suspects, but so far, they did end up going ahead and posting the bundle schedule for Vanguard. Not sure why we didn't get one for Cold War, considering we've had 2 bundles in a row now that drop without any leaks of the release date, so we'll see what happens in the future. But there also will possibly be a mid-season update for Season 4 in Black Ops Cold War, which may either add in a couple more bundles, and maybe even there's a slim chance of seeing more multiplayer maps added to the game's files, which would end up releasing at some point later this summer. Keep you guys posted with that. But there are definitely still a fair amount of bundles on the way, which I'm really looking forward to. We're talking ultra animated skins, reactive mastercrafts, more tracer blueprints, Mason. I mean, there's a lot left on the way if you guys are interested in cosmetics at all in this game. I'll be breaking down all of that as it does release. But lastly, we also have a couple of Treyarch devs who unfortunately left the studio. We have somebody like Tony Flame, who has been there for a good 17 years. He shipped out 5 Black Ops games now. He's unfortunately leaving to move on to other things, as well as other devs who also worked at Treyarch. Now, it's unclear if these devs are leaving because of all the controversy surrounding Activision, or if the crunch is about to get ridiculous, considering Treyarch is possibly balancing 5 different projects right now, which I'll be talking more about in a future video. We're talking Cold War Year 2 with bundles, possible maps, Vanguard, Ranked and Zombies. We then have some possible support with DMZ that Treyarch's helping out with for Infinity Ward. And then after that, we have that standalone 2023 project from Treyarch, which might be Zombies related, as well as Black Ops 2024. So 5 possible projects. Maybe they are being pulled in too many directions to the point where devs out there are like, yeah, I'm not going to put up with that. I'm done. And I wonder if these devs were to have stayed until Microsoft takes over, would conditions have changed behind the scenes? It's not going to be for a little while, but I'm wondering if they would have stuck through a little while longer. Would they have been kind of relieved of all the stress they're probably dealing with behind the scenes? Who knows? But other than that, I'm sure most devs who left are probably taking up some bigger and better opportunities somewhere else in the gaming industry. They deserve it. Tony Flame is an absolute legend. He's done a fantastic job with Black Ops multiplayer over the years, and I wish him all the best. Now, if you want to believe Ralph about his recent claim that associates at Infinity Ward are going to be leaving after Modern Warfare 2 ships out because of just some hectic work environments behind the scenes, then you can put that together with people out there leaving Treyarch as well, and maybe that claim is true, that the future of COD is kind of in shambles. They're being pulled in too many different directions. Devs are being overworked, underpaid, to the point where the future of COD is definitely uncertain, at least until Microsoft takes over in what could be 2023. Maybe that is indeed correct. I mean, with the recent rumor that Treyarch's going to help Infinity War with DMZ, I'm like, wait, why can't they just get some time to work on their standalone project, whatever that is, if it's zombies focused, or the Black Ops 2024 title? Why do they have to help every other studio every time with something? It just doesn't make any sense, and it'll be the first time they're helping out Infinity Ward with something, which I'm gonna assume Infinity Ward is understaffed. They need Treyarch to help them out with that, similar to how Sledgehammer needed help with Vanguard. Maybe that's what's going on, and people at Treyarch are like, look, I'm overworked, I'm stressed out, I want to focus on this thing, but I'm being pulled backwards to that. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the latest update here in Cold War Year 2? How are you feeling about the weapons that were found for Black Ops 2024? And also, what are your thoughts on a bunch of devs leaving Treyarch? Really hope you enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.